How about them Hogs? Yeah, I'm excited. I'm happy. I'm excited and happy. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. My Razorbacks, they did what they needed to do. I made a video saying that make me feel pretty good, that I would like for the Razorbacks to at least put up 40 points on Alabama A&M, and lo and behold, they go and they put up 52 points. They gonna put up 52 points, right? We put up 10 in the first, 21 in the second, 14 in the third, 7 in the fourth, right? We shut them out for 3 quarters. Their first drive of the game, they went down and marched the ball right down our throats. They did that. But we're gonna get to that point. I want to talk about offense first. The offense, Taylor Green. Let's talk about Taylor. Taylor was 24-31, 322 passing yards, 6 TDs. Will he be fighting for National Player of the Week? Maybe so. No interceptions. Taylor Green had no interceptions. Love that. All right, back. Mike Washington. A lot of people, everybody want to see him, what he's about, how is he, and things like that. He didn't just have a crazy game. He did have 9 for 79, but a lot of that came with cleanup time. So he had 9 for 79. Taylor Green had 9 for 41. Braylon Russell 11 for 41. That's running the ball. But this is what really, and I mean really, impressed me with the offense today. Taylor Green got the ball to 10 different receivers. Taylor Green got the ball to 10 different receivers. And yes, this is counting running backs. If I take running backs out of it, Taylor Green got the ball to 9 different receivers. Omega Blake, 7 for 121, 1 touchdown. CJ Brown, 4 for 49, 2 touchdowns. Jalen Brown, 3 for 44, 1 touchdown. Raylan Sharp, 3 for 41, 1 touchdown. Monte Harrison, 1 for 29. Mike Washington Jr., 2 for 26, 1 touchdown. Cam Shanks, 3 for 19. Jaden Platt, 1 for 15. Cross Johnson, 1 for 9. And Andre Paskey, 1 for 5 and 1 touchdown. Receiving yards total was 358 receiving yards. That is something exciting that I like, because we lost guys like a Armstrong, a Tesla, a Broden, a Luke Haas. We lost those guys. Those are our main targets. Mainly Andrew Armstrong. We didn't really use Tesla like that. We had Tyrone Broden in his place, which I think was wrong, but that's the path this is now. I really like the simple fact that we was able to use different receivers. You can't just focus on one. Now, don't get me wrong. Him and Omega Blake showed great connection. Omega just knew how to get open. Showed absolutely beautiful connection. Love that. Like that. That is what really impressed me with Taylor Green and these receivers, because we didn't know what we had. But these receivers showed they can make contested catches. They showed that they could break tackles. They showed that they have speed. And I get it, it's Alabama A&M, but you needed to see something to move forward with. And that's what I like about Arkansas in the receiving corps. That's something to me that stood out to me big, right? So that's the offense. Like, now, what I do hate, I don't like the simple fact that Alabama A&M had 5 tackles for loss, and they did have 2 sacks. We should not be giving up sacks like that. One was a blitz, and then one I think was like they might have both been blitzes, but it's just 2 sacks. But I don't want to be giving up sacks like that. We was kind of high in the country last year in sacks, so we don't really need to be giving out sacks like that, especially to Alabama A&M. We need to be holding our own. We need to know our checks. We need to know our calls. We need to know who coming, where the pressure's coming from, and this, that, and the third. We must know that. We gotta know that. All right. So that's a downfall. The offensive line, to me, I didn't like the sacks. I felt like we got a little bit too much pressure. I feel like we had too much pressure, and I just didn't like that. That's something I gotta criticize about that. Special teams, we gotta block more. We got the best returner from last year catching punts, right? And the first time they punt, I think we probably could have got a good little return off of it. We don't block the gunner, man. Hits them right then and there. We got to block on special teams, right? So I feel like that's something we got to work on with special teams. All right, so now, all in all, what I really did not like in today's game was our defense. I get it. The score looks awesome, looks amazing, but this Alabama A&M team, check it out. Cornelius went 9 for 19, 130 passing yards, no touchdowns. Eric Hanley, 6 for 10, 36 yards, no touchdowns. They had a total of 166 passing yards, right? Rushing yards, 5 carries, 37, 8 carries, 34, 6 carries, 30, All right, cool, yeah. All right, they did the thing. It wasn't nothing crazy, but they would make runs. Sometimes there's like, yo, come on, you hit him. It would have been 3rd and 8, but you let him keep moving his feet. You didn't bring him down. Now it's 2nd and 8. Now it's 3rd and 2. We letting them get runs that make them comfortable. We letting them move the pile. And I didn't like that because what I do got a question about is the defensive line. I seen one play where we got the young Charlie Collins in the game, and he just flat out head down flew right past the running back. Running back gained 5 to 8 yards. We can't have that in the SEC. We gotta show and keep our composure, hold our gaps, and keep our head up, and we gotta make those kind of tackles. That is something that bothered me a little bit coming into the game. That was an unknown for me. I said it in one of my videos, just like I said it was an unknown for the receivers. But the receivers proved that they should be able to get the job done. But this D-line, I don't know how to, I'm still shaky. We got Arkansas State next week, right? So we should be able to see a little bit more there against Arkansas State also, because Arkansas State is going to pass the ball. And speaking of passing the ball, we spent all this money on our corners and safeties and stuff like that. I feel like this Alabama team still was dumping off passes quite easily. I get it. They did not score. They did not score nothing but 7 points. But it's, you watch the game, you see how they're moving down the field. You see how they're able to complete passes. You see how it's like we're sitting in a defense that just have them wide open. Sometimes they just hitting gaps that's wide open. And if you do that, the reason it bothers me, because if you do that in the SEC, those are going to be points. That's why it's such a problem to me right now with a team like Alabama A&M doing it. Not talking about Alabama A&M, because this is a coach who last year, when he was at this school, he won his conference, went to the D2 playoffs. So it's a good coach. But when you're Arkansas playing Alabama A&M, it's some things you should just have on lock. The defensive line, to me, did not get enough pressure. We didn't put enough pressure on their quarterback, which is why we only had 2 sacks. We had 6 tackles for losses, but we only had 2 sacks. And they had 2 sacks and 5 tackles for losses. So it's like their D-line matched right up with our D-line. It shouldn't be like that. We're Arkansas, they're Alabama A&M. We got to separate ourselves with that. You know, I didn't see enough of 97 Quincy Jones. He only had 1 total tackle. You know, I didn't see enough of them. See, our corners are having all the tackles. Smalls had 4. Neal had 4. Now, Dick's linebacker had 4. Wooden had 3. Miguel Mitchell had 3. Singletary had... See, they're getting to the back end a little too much. It's not good. We got to be getting tackles from our D-line. Our D-lineman, Campbell, 1. Jaden Phillips, 1. Let me see who else. Justice Boone, 1. Ian Gaffard, 1. See, our D-line only got 1 tackle. That's not good. I don't like that. We played in the SEC. We should not be letting our defensive backs be making all these tackles. The D-line scares me. Not gonna sit here and lie. The D-line is questionable still to me. They didn't show me enough in this game to have me confident and okay. Like, okay, you know what? Yeah. The offense, I'm okay with the offense. The offense showed and proved to me, like, you know what? The more we keep going and we keep getting this thing, we're gonna gel it together. We're gonna be like, yeah, let's get it. Let's get it. You know, the defense, we got to come together. We got to get some stuff figured out. You know, we need Phillip Lee to come on. I need Charlie Collins to come on. I need Bradley Shaw. Xavier Suri only had 1 tackle. Come on, Campbell. I need these guys to come on, because in the SEC, they're gonna run the ball, and are we gonna be able to stop them? So that's my take. You know, offensive line. You know, today they held up pretty fine. You know, Taylor only got sacked twice. I think he only got sacked twice. But all in all, you know, Arkansas, pretty good game. Not going to do too much. Pretty good game. Defense, to me, has to step up. Offensive line, you know, when we play guys like this, we got to step up and don't allow our quarterback to get dirty. Pick up the blitzes. I think Taylor Green did fairly well. I really do. I think Taylor Green really has a grasp of the offense. Taylor Green is comfortable back there. Really like that. He had to do a little bit better job of protecting himself. He took some hits today that he didn't have to take. Just go ahead and run out of bounds. But other than that, congratulations, Hawks. 1-0 on the season. On to Arkansas State. Comment down below. Tell me what you guys seen, what you guys didn't like, what you guys did like. Comfortable are you guys? What you think the season gonna turn out like? And hey, Old Pig, sue it.